Tinapay mula sa langit. A daily morning devotion with CRC family.
Isang mapagpalang umaga mga kapatid at narito tayo muli upang simulan ang araw natin kasama ang salita ng Diyos bilang gabay. At tayo muna ay dumako sa isang maikling panalangin bago natin simulan ang ating pagbubulay-bulay sa mga salita ng Diyos. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa panibagong umagang kay ganda na inyong pinagkaloob sa amin. We thank you for another morning to celebrate your goodness and your faithfulness to us. We thank you for all the blessings that you continue to receive, the unconditional love that you continue to provide, and your mercy to each and every one of us. Tinataas po namin ang umaga na ito na naway maging produktibo ang aming pagbubulay-bulay sa iyong mga salita at maintindihan namin ang mga nais mong iparating sa amin gamit ang Biblia. Muli, Panginoon, naway mai-apply namin sa aming buhay ang aming mga matututunan at sa gayon ay kami ay mapalakas at mag-mature, Panginoon, gamit ang pagbabasa at pag-intindi na iyong mga salita at pangako sa Biblia. Ang lahat na ito ay tinataas namin sa pangalan na iyong anak na si Jesus. Amen. At ang ating pagninilay-nilayan po ngayong umaga ay matatagpuan sa Numbers 1 verse 44 to 46 na may pamagat na The Summary of the Tribes, the 603,550 available soldiers in Israel. So ating basahin ang mga bersikulo na ito. So verse 44. Thus were the men counted by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, each one representing his family. 45. All the Israelites 20 years old and more who were able to serve in Israel's army were counted according to their families. The total number was 603,550. Pagpalain ang mga salita ng Diyos. So from the title, we can say na this is a culmination, a summary of what was stipulated in the preceding verses. So these verses were a summary of the total number of men that were gathered from the descendants of Reuben to descendants of Naphtali. So we know that in Numbers 1, which is this chapter, God tasked Moses to take a census of the whole Israelite community. So afterwards, Aaron and Moses started to count all the men depende doon sa division nila. So ibig sabihin, kompleto, detalyadong listahan ng lahat ng available na mga armies or troops kung saan ang bawat troop, ang isang bawat army o yung isang bawat na tribe na yon na sa sinabi sa mga naunang verses, meron silang leader. And kung makikita natin in verse 45, there is actually a specification nakalagay doon which was mentioned na all those qualified na maging parte ng army ng Israel ay those who are 21 years old and above. So if 603,550, yung pa lang yung nagre-represent ng army and yung pa lang yung 21 and above, we can hypothesize na mas malaki, million siguro, hundreds of thousands or more than double yung populations ng Israelite as a whole. And even though this chapter only, it focuses on census, on the total number of armies, actually this 3 verses summarizes that, it summarizes the people na part ng army. We can elaborate on other 2 underlying themes. Mahalaga na we always apply what's written in the Bible to what we know or what is happening around us. So first theme is about God's immense power, and second is His grace being enough to sustain us. Why? So on the first theme, we can see how yung power ni Lord is manifested. Paano siya na ma-manifest dun sa mga tao, sa mga Israelites, and to the land itself. So these people understand yung kapangyarihan ng Panginoon, that He is in charge of everything, that He is powerful. Very important that our battle are not ours, but His. So kung in our lives we're experiencing something, we are not the one fighting. It is God fighting for us. There's no room for us to give up. because there is God who is ready to help us. So next, the following theme is really powerful, no? Napakaganda. Sabi dito, this chapter is actually a prelude. Nagbibigay ng context. So this chapter is actually introduction to their journey to the promised land. Kung babasahin niyo ng diretso, makabot kayo number 17, it's about a journey to the promised land. And what is amazing is how God sustained this. So nalaman natin, ganito karami sila, no? And it's amazing how God sustained this hundreds of thousands of people through the wilderness. So as explained, no, in the following chapters, so maiintindihan natin yan in the following chapters na napakabuti na Diyos. Sabi nga, sapat na at higit pa ang kanyang biyaya para sa atin. And truly, Lord or God's grace and blessings are enough for us. For He will never leave us nor forsake us. At yung binibigay niya sa atin ay sapat sa pangangailangan natin. And yun yung magsusustain sa atin. And biruin mo, 603,000 of people and hundreds and thousands of people. God sustained those people. To sum this up, tandaan natin that we are reminded to be obedient soldiers of Christ, to be ready to serve and to obey God. Bilang pagtatapos, tayo ay muling dumako sa isang maikling panalangin ng Diyos. Maraming salamat sa napapagpalang umaga na ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. Maraming salamat na pinaalalahanan mo kami to be soldiers of Christ, to be ready to serve you and to obey you. Dahil yan, Panginoon, ang purpose namin. Ang sundin ka upang maluwalhati ang iyong pangalan. Naway sa aming paghihiwa-hiwalay ay pagpalain at protektahan mo ang bawat isa sa amin. At sa aming pakikinig ay mailagay namin ito sa aming puso at isipan upang mapalago kami ng iyong mga salita. At naway patuloy mong paigtingin ng aming tinapay mula sa langit na nagbibigay ng mga inspirasyon sa bawat isang mga Kristiyano, hindi lamang ng CRC, ngunit ng lahat ng mga nakikinig. Naway maging paraan ito upang mapalakas namin ang bawat isa sa amin. Sa pangalan ng anak na si Jesus. Amen. Muli, maraming salamat mga kapatid sa pagsama sa atin sa umagang ito at patuloy po nating suportahan ang ating programa upang mas marami pa ang maabot ng salita ng Diyos na magliligtas sa lahat at na magbibigay ng kapanatagan. At muli, magandang umaga at pagpalain nawa tayo ng may kapal.